If you are covering your end walls in polycarbonate, vertical and horizontal framing should be installed at roughly 4 feet on center. We recommend installing the horizontals first and then adding the verticals once the polycarbonate is in place to get perfect alignment, ensuring that the vertical square tube is lined up with the double H extrusion. The polycarbonate sheets will be installed with the channels running vertically and screwed onto the metal square tube framing using 1.5-inch Tex screws and neoprene-backed washers against the polycarbonate. A trench about 3 inches deep should be dug between the door opening and the bow on either side, which the polycarbonate will go down into. Each sheet should reach from the trench or top of the door jamb to above the height of the bow, with no horizontal butt joints if possible. Begin covering from the center of the wall and work your way out, making sure the UV-treated side of each sheet, the side with the sticker labeled UV on it, is facing out. It is recommended to do this with 2 people. Depending on the specifics of your kit and end wall design, you may choose to center your first sheet and work outward in either direction. Align the joint between 2 middle sheets with the center of the house, or begin from one end and work across. We find that centering the first sheet above the door and working out in either direction is often the best method, but your design may be different. Take your first sheet and remove the white backing. Apply a piece of vent tape along the bottom edge of the sheet. Lift the sheet into place. Make sure it fully overlaps the top of the bow. Use a level to get it as straight up and down as you can. Secure the sheet in place with one of the longer Tex screws and a neoprene washer. Use your level again to get the sheet perfectly straight before you add more screws. Add screws and neoprene washers every 12 to 18 inches along each horizontal and vertical framing member. Secure the screws firmly, but don't create dents in the polycarbonate. Now cut a piece of double H extrusion to match the length of one side of your first polycarbonate sheet. Measure from the bottom of the sheet to the top of the bow behind it. The top cut should mirror the angle of the bow. Slip this extrusion over the edge of the sheet, making sure it's fully seated. You can gently tap it into place with a rubber mallet if needed. Get this piece of double H perfectly straight up and down, then secure it with a longer Tex screw into any horizontal pieces it crosses. Make sure this screw goes straight through the very center of the double H and doesn't cut into the channel for the polycarbonate. Don't over-tighten this screw, or you'll have trouble inserting the next sheet of polycarbonate. Now, prepare and then raise the next piece of polycarbonate into place. Push it into the opposite channel in the double H and secure it just like you did with the first one. Remember to check that it's straight with your level before you secure it. Keep going in the same way until you've covered the whole wall. Secure each sheet to the framing as you go. Once all your sheets are installed, you'll need to trim along the contour of the bow. You can use a saw for this. A jigsaw with a knife edge blade works well. The polycarbonate should stick out about 1/4 to 1/2 inch past the top surface of the bow to accommodate the end bow wire lock profile. After trimming, close the top of each polycarbonate sheet with aluminum foil tape. If you covered any vent or door holes during installation, now's the time to cut those out. Finally, install the polycarbonate end bow wire lock extrusion. The wiggle wire lock channel on this extrusion goes on the inside of the greenhouse, while the other side covers the cut edge of the polycarbonate sheeting and double H. Check out our video on end bow wire lock for more details on this step.